Dear students, in this module we will discuss and comprehend about the different types of research by which you will be able to have knowledge about historical research, action research and participative research. The learning objectives pertaining to this module are historical research, meaning, importance and definition, sources of historical research with special reference to population studies, steps involved in historical research, advantages and disadvantages of historical research, action research, meaning, importance and definition, the action research process and applications, major steps involved in action research, advantages and disadvantages of action research. Then we will move to participative research, meaning, importance and principles, its characteristics, key processes and methods used in participative research, the role of outsider in participative research, and finally advantages and disadvantages of participative research. First we will discuss about the meaning and importance of historical research. As you know, history is the documentation of past events related to human beings' achievements. History is not merely a chronological arrangement of past events, but an account of the various forces that operated to produce that event and the consequences thereof. A social scientist gets insight into the past through history and tries to study social problems on historical perspective. The main aim of historical research is to apply the method of reflective thinking to social problems still unsolved by means of discovery of past trends of an event, fact and attitude. Historical researchers not only study the past trends, but also try to think them to the present and to take efforts to tell their future. The historical researcher must concern him or herself with critical evaluation of source documents in terms of authority, content, meaning and interpretation of records in terms of general laws, trend and hypothesis. A few definitions we would like to understand here. Borg defines historical research as the systematic and synthesis of objective location, evaluation and synthesis of evidence in order to establish facts and draw conclusions concerning past events. According to Ali, historical research is digging into the past in order to reenact the past in its entirety, to construct the past event as fully as they must have happened, to explain the meaning and significance of those events, to correct the wrong notions so long prevalent if any, and to elaborate, analyze, synthesis and philosophize the ideas in the light of the knowledge we possess. Now we will move to sources of historical research. Among these, the number one is documents. These are written or printed materials that have been produced in one form or another sometimes in the past. Example, printed or written books, papers, literature, magazines, autobiographies, personal letters and diaries, etc. The next major source of historical research are numerical records. These include any type of numerical data in printed and handwritten form. Example, statistical records, census, civil registration or sample registration registers, etc. Thirdly, oral statements also serve the purpose of as a source of historical research. These include any form of statements made orally by someone. That example are oral interviews, personal sources of authentic observers and witnesses, etc. Finally, the relics are another source of historical research. These are any objects whose physical or visual characteristics can provide some information about the past. For example, historical paintings, portraits, charts, maps, etc. Now, we will discuss a few words about how historical demography has been developed in population studies. Historical demography is the quantitative study of human population in the past. It is concerned with the population size with the three basic components of population change like fertility, mortality and migration, and with the population characteristics related to these components such as marriage, socioeconomic status, etc. Through historical analysis or research, the father of demography, Robert Thomas Malthus, had completed his pioneering work Bills of Mortality, which is based on the records maintained at parishes, that is churches of London. In population studies, historical research developed mainly based on the church records of baptisms, marriages and burials, then later census and vital or civil registration statistics or records, demographic yearbooks, population registers, etc. In the recent past, the integrated public use microdata series called IPMS popularly has become a very prominent source for historical research, which contains almost all countries' census records for years. Conditions necessary for historical research. A few conditions are very much essential either from researcher side or from the general environment, which I would like to list here. Selection of topic for research that should be suitable for historical research, social insight, historical orientation, knowledge related to social sciences, wide educational background, familiarity with the topic and its objectives, dispassionate study, imaginative capacity, selection and rejection of material, analyzing and coordinating capacity, knowledge of sources or data limitations, knowledge about the researcher's own limitations, availability of necessary facilities and resources. After learning the conditions, move to steps involved in historical research. The first one is selection and defining of the research problem. Next, as usual, formulation of hypothesis, at times may not be necessary also. Search and preparations for source material or data, then evaluation of materials or data available in different sources, organizing and summarizing the data, interpretation, drawing conclusions and report writing. What are the advantages of historical research? Historical research permits an investigation of topics that could not be studied in any other way, or no other method could be as useful as this one. Historical research gives the researchers an idea about the users of a particular place or event and how it was used, through which sound decision can be made. Historical research also helps to choose suitable policy or action among a number of alternatives. Through historical research, it is possible to study the past and present, thereby easy to predict for the future. Disadvantages side of historical research, if you see, first and foremost one, dearth of reliable and adequate data over a period of time makes this method difficult to apply. The method of keeping records and dispersal of documents may not be accurate or up to the mark. In historical research, neither the data nor the inferences are capable for verification. Again, in historical research, calculation and measurement is not possible. For historical research, sources might be conflicting and hard to find. In historical research, subjectivity will arise in drawing conclusions. Historical research consumes lot of time for searching and interpreting. In historical research, sometimes it is difficult to obtain the causes of problems, as the reporting as well as recording may not be reliable. Now, we will move to the next type of research, that is action research. A few definitions about action research we will learn here. One of the methodologists by name Kurt Lewin described action research as a comparative research on the conditions and effects of various forms of social action and research leading to social action, that uses a spiral of steps, each of which is composed of a circle of planning, action and fact finding about the result of an action. In the words of Stephen M. Covey, action research is an attempt to get the scientific approach to practical problems used at the grassroots level. Now, we would like to discuss about the action research process. Gerald Schussman outlined that the action research process takes place in 5 phases as a cyclic form, as shown in the diagram. According to Schussman, the action research starts with diagnosing, that is identifying or defining a problem, then will move to action planning, wherein one would consider alternative courses of action, and then move to taking decision, that is in terms of selecting a course of action, and then it will move to evaluating, that is studying the consequences of an action, and the next step comes specifying learning, that is identifying general findings. After specifying learning, if the findings are not satisfied, one would again move to diagnosing, and thereby the action research becomes a cyclical process. Now we will move to applications of action research. Generally, action research is used in real situations since its primary focus is on solving real problems. However, social scientists also use this research for preliminary or pilot research when the situation is too ambiguous to frame a precise research question or problem. Situations where action research is used include while studying problems in an organization or establishment, rural development programs, classroom teaching, management, issues related to social work, agricultural extension, health and family welfare program, women development programs, etc. Now we will move to the major steps involved in action research. The major steps involved in action research are identification of the problem, establishment of contact between the researcher and clients or group, data gathering and preliminary diagnosis, feedback to clients or group, planning for a change, that is joint action planning, then intervention, that is action, then finally evaluation. Some of the major advantages of action research are: action research is a high level practical one. In action research, both quantitative and qualitative data can be used. Through action research, one can gain in-depth knowledge about the problem. Then one can use action research to evaluate the process or practice. Action research serves as a problem solving method. When it comes to disadvantages of action research takes a lot of time. For action research, more resources are needed. In action research, bias takes place both from the researcher and our clients or group involved. Results based on action research are not generalizable. The process of action research are more difficult to follow. Now we will move to the next type of research, that is participatory research. We will understand first the meaning and important. Participatory research, PR popularly known, aims to explore and interpret the views, concerns and experiences of people from their own perspectives and allows them to undertake measures to improve their situations. Though it has roots in the qualitative research tradition, it is not anti-quantitative, as several PR tools also collect quantitative data. Heron and Reason described PR as a halfway house between exclusive, controlling, quantitative, positive research on people and fully participatory, cooperative research with people. Participatory research involves not only inquiry but also action. People not only discuss their problems, they also think about possible solutions to them and actions which need to be taken. The major principles of participatory research are: participation, that is, as per this principle, treats people as research participants rather than research subjects. It is people centered in the sense that the process of critical inquiry is informed by and responds to the experiences and needs of people involved. The second principle is self-development. The fundamental principle of PR is that it is research with rather than on people. It emphasizes knowledge for action and a bottom-up approach in contrast to conventional research, which is more of top-down. A few characteristics of participatory research are: in participatory research, people are the subjects of research. In participatory research, people themselves collect the data and then process and analyze the information using methods easily understood by them. The knowledge gathered in participatory research is used to problematic actions for change or to improve existing local actions. In participatory research, the knowledge belongs to the people and they are the primary beneficiaries of the knowledge creation. In participatory research, research and action are inseparable. They represent a unity. In participatory research, research is a praxis rhythm of action reflection, where knowledge creation supports action. In participatory research, people function as organic intellectuals. In participatory research, there is an inbuilt mechanism to ensure authenticity and genuineness of the information that is generated, because people themselves use the information for improvement of their lives. The key process of participatory research is the promotion of participatory research is basically an exercise in stimulating the people to collect information, reflect and analyze it, use the results as a knowledge base for the improvement, and whenever possible to document the results for wider documentation, that is, for the creation of a people literature. Some of the methods used in participatory research are: participatory research uses a range of techniques. These include focus groups and multi-stakeholder meetings, participatory inquiry, action research, oral testimonies and story collection, photo digital stories, photo voice, drawing and essay writing competitions, participatory video and immersions. In participation research, the role of outside professional plays an important role. Outside professional mainly assist the people to collect data and then to process and analyze the information. He will also linking the local situation to the larger external situation, assist in improving people's access to new information and technology, interacts with the people concerned so as to enable them to articulate and systemize their own thoughts and processes. Themes where participatory research can be used in rural development works, agricultural development programs, health and family welfare programs, urban housing problems, impact assessment of natural disasters, studies of attitudes to health practices. Some of the advantages of participatory research are: identification of genuine priorities for target group is possible. Through participatory research, devolution of management responsibilities can be done. Through participatory research, motivation and mobilization of local development workers is possible. Participatory research helps in forming better linkages between communities and development institutions. Participatory research mostly uses of local resources. Through participatory research, mobilization of community resources can be done. Participatory research provides a way of solving some of the problems encountered with other approaches. Through participatory research, small scale surveys are mostly done on a regular basis. Participatory research allows for a timely analysis and intervention, and finally participatory research is more cost effective. Participatory research has certain limitations also. Firstly, participatory research raises expectations which cannot be realized. Participatory research proposals for development plans to which participating agencies cannot respond. Participatory research leads to the risk of capture of activities by local interests. Participatory research fails in take the account of stratification in communities. In participatory research, it is nearly always the outsiders who conduct and interpret the results. Participatory research is reflective of existing power relations in a community. In participatory research, sample size is too small and not representative. Participatory research is a time consuming process. In this module, the discussion is made on different types of research and their related issues like meaning and importance of historical research, action research and participatory research, conditions and steps involved in these types of research, and advantages and disadvantages of or limitations of these type of research.